Good morning, good morning. It is 6:46 where I'm at. And the reason I'm up this early is because I'm about to take myself to the beach. It's supposed to be 95 today, so it's the only sunny day that I'm gonna be going. So I I'm gonna go ahead and drive myself over there. But I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk to y'all because today is the day. It's the first Monday, and a lot of things that we don't know what's going to go down tonight. I mean, we know Becky Lynch and Bayley are going to have an Intercontinental Championship match. We know there's a possibility that Lyra's going to turn heel, which I hope they recruit. I'm hoping that they'll recruit Tatum Paxley to the main roster so that way she could team up with Lyra. Because I understand, because honestly, they ain't got nothing for her to do over there. And I would hate for her to join the Calling when the Calling should be her coming to the main roster to be with Lyra. Because I know that she put some black makeup on her face, which that's kind of giving me Tatum Paxley vibes, but that's why I really need them to bring her over there. You know what I'm saying? I keep tagging them, but they won't reply. So, what else? We know the tournament is today, but the problem is, they got, they won't change the route, the location. I think it's called Saudi Arabia. I don't know if I got that right, but the fact that they won't relocate is just kind of scary to me. And I'm trying not to watch the news because, like I said, I don't like watching the news, especially with all that negativity. I don't really need that. But I'm trying to wait till I get out of the beach so that way, I can have a clear mindset. Because while I'm at the beach, the only thing I want to listen to is country music, and while I'm laying on the sand getting my tan on. You know what I mean? Well, first I go swimming, and then I get my tan on because I'm light skinned, so it's pretty cool. It's saying you feel Mexican when you lay down and get your tan on. Well, actually, you feel Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? Caucasian. Turn to a carrot top like Braun Breaker. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know what's gonna go down with the Judgment Day, but I do know that Dom is gonna be alone unless he talks to Raquel. Hopefully he talked to Raquel more now that Liv Morgan is gone, but I don't know because lately Dom been talking to Finn and JD when he should be talking to Raquel, but I don't know where he goes from here. I hope he starts talking to Raquel more, but if he doesn't, that just lets me know he don't fuck with her like that, which is sad because how can you consider? I don't know. That is kind of weird, right? Like he's talking to Raquel when he should be, that's kind of weird, right? Where he's not talking to Raquel, but he's talking to JD and Finn. That's kind of weird. That's what I meant to say, right? Like if Dom don't talk to Raquel, I think that's kind of weird because so you rather talk to your ops, but you don't want to talk to the people that you're close to. Kind of lets me know that Dom's not really close to Raquel like that, which is kind of dumb. But, it's kind of sad. But that's why at this point, I don't know what's next for Raquel. I do know that today might be the time when we got to talk about, what they're going to do with the belts. Are they going to replace, is Raquel going to vacate the belts or is she going to get Roxanne to team up with her? They said up front they're not going to vacate the belts. But if they're not going to vacate it and they're going to give it to Roxanne and Raquel, then fine. Just make sure you do it tonight so that way we know for sure it's confirmed. A main thing I'm just trying to figure out is what's the interaction going to be? You know what I mean? What's the interaction that's going to be between Dom and Roxanne and Raquel, and Raquel and JD and Finn. because it's still 5 members left. So I don't know what's next, because like I said, Liv's supposed to be gone for like 3 or 6 months. So I don't know what's gonna go down for this particular month. I don't know if Liv Morgan's gonna pull up and address her injury. I don't know if she's gonna do it tonight, or she's gonna do it at Evolution, or do it at SummerSlam. I don't want to create no rumors, but knowing the fans are gonna try to push her to do that, I don't want her to do that, because if she didn't do it before, she shouldn't be doing it at all, unless it's like a long-term injury. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this injury requires her to retire, then that would be different. It's like, you know, with Kevin Owens, a retirement plan, right? But the retirement plan should not be you loving Dom. Your retirement plan should be, you know, you going after gold. And I think people are gonna stop, you know, playing with that, but some people might pull up and might tease it. But if I was them, I would move past it, because there's some people that still come up with signs and come up with other stuff to like remind Dom that, hey, you know, we want you back with Rhea, you know. But you don't see nobody pulling up saying, hey, we want you back with Liv. You know what I'm saying? At least I haven't seen it. But I guess some people assume that he might get back with Liv, but that's not true. But I was just talking, but I ain't gonna let, and now some weird shit, but I do have an idea for Dom if the Roxanne thing don't work out. Like, let's say if people still booing while he's with Roxanne. I think the best solution, if you want the people to side with you, Dom, is there are 2 things you need to do. You need to get back with your father. You need to apologize to your father, or you need to get back with Rhea. That's the only way that you can get back with the crowd. Listen, the people do not fuck with you, bro. All right? If you want the people to fuck with you, you need to do those 2 things. That's the only way to do it. Get back with Rhea and apologize to your father. Because you can't face Finn and JD by yourself. So who gonna ride with you? Who's gonna ride for you? You know, it might as well be your father, right? But because your dad is hurt, you know, what do you do in that situation? I don't think that Rey Mysterio will have a problem with him getting back with Rhea. And the reason why is because you got to think about it. I'm pretty sure that when Rhea was at the wedding, Rey was there. But they had to hide him because of kayfabe. But I just feel like if Marie likes Rhea, right? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Now, I know everybody in the comments going to say he doesn't want Rhea and she don't want him. But if he wants to get over with the crowd, he has to get back with Rhea. Or, you know, apologize to his father. That's the only way to do it. Because they're not going to accept him getting back with Liv Morgan. It's just not going to happen. But they will accept him getting back with Rhea. Just because the family has no beef with Rhea. You get what I'm saying? At least not anymore. So, I think the best thing to do is, let's think about it. The only reason why Liv Morgan is even with Dom is to get back at Rhea. Let's be honest, okay? Even if they do get back together, it's the same thing. So, same scenario, same situation, you know, just getting, revenge toward this. You know what I'm saying? The revenge tour with Roxanne doesn't even feel like a revenge tour. It just feels like something that, all right, you try to do this, but it didn't work out for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I think that Roxanne's going to take Dom and Raquel from her? Nah. To me, in my opinion, I don't think so. Because she confirmed in one of her interviews that she don't like Dom like that. I guess she's just saying that just to please Drake. But it's just like, if Dom and Roxanne ever get together, it'd just be on some business shit. Versus when he was with Liv Morgan, it was kind of like slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep telling people over and over, nobody wants to see Liv and Dom together. They would rather see Dom and Rhea together. That's it, you know. But people think that that's what they want. No, that's not what the people want. The people want Dom to make up with his father and make up with Rhea Ripley, right? So, will that be the case for Dominic Mysterio? I mean, if you can't get Rhea back with Jay, then why won't you do that? It doesn't have to be a love thing. It can just be business. Because I don't know what's the hope. Like, let's say if Raquel get released, what do you do in that situation? Because once they lose the tag team titles, what does Raquel do in that situation? Because she can't continue to be a bodyguard. You know, at some point she got to go on her own. You know, and I would hate for Roxanne to say things like, you know how Liv Morgan was trying to get Dom and Raquel some titles? I would hate for Roxanne to do the exact opposite, because she wants the title for herself, but make it seem like Roxanne is not genuine than Liv Morgan is, and that's not fair. Because Liv Morgan was going to, believe it or not, Liv Morgan was going to betray Raquel and Dominic Mysterio based off of her ego and her behavior. You saw the segment where Liv Morgan was backstage with Raquel. Liv Morgan wanted Raquel to go with her on some shit, but Raquel was hurt. Liv Morgan didn't give a damn, so she walked away. So people are just gonna forget about that, and people are just gonna people are just gonna forget about that. I don't know. Listen, I'm not trying to stir up the pot, but it's like, know the truth. And the truth is, Liv Morgan was gonna do it regardless. Raquel was gonna do it regardless. Dom was gonna do it regardless. And now that Liv Morgan's gone, they're gonna make it seem like Liv Morgan's innocent. That's bullshit. Just look back at the segments and you'll see what I'm talking about. When Rhea Ripley was gone, did she did anything did she did some fuck shit when Dominic Mysterio was by himself? No. Damian was trying to keep him loyal. But that's why Damian made that phone call. Because they knew that Dom was gonna get with Liv Morgan at some point. But he was just hoping that he would be loyal to Rhea Ripley, but that was not the case. So will Dom be loyal to Liv Morgan while she's gone? No, I don't think so. Well, he'll try. But if there's an offer on the table with him and Roxanne, then I don't know if he's going to turn it down, but I hope he do. But that's not going to but if he do turn it down, that's not going to help him become babyface, because the people will still boo him. You know what I'm saying? The only way people will side with him is if they feel bad for him. So let's say if he get jumped, I don't think people are going to give a fuck. You would have to get back with Rhea and get back with your father. Apologize to your father in order for that to happen. And until he does that, I don't think people are going to stop moving. I don't think nobody's going to fuck with the kid. But you will hope so when he get with Roxanne. You will hope so. But that's my only thinking. You know what I'm saying? If people want to stop, if people gonna side with Dom, the only way they can side, I'm just keeping it a band. I think the only way people can side with Dom is if he get back with Rhea or he apologized to his father. It's gonna be hard though. Okay, his pride is pretty much saying up front that I gotta stay loyal to Liv Morgan. Because some people in the comments feel like he was happier when he was with Liv, but I think that I don't believe that, because I believe that the reason why he had to stay with Liv Morgan is because of the popularity. You know what I'm saying? And the clout that he was receiving from her, the interview, the opportunities he was getting, why he was with Liv Morgan. I feel like when he was with Liv Morgan, he was getting a lot of press, he was getting a lot of interviews, and now that and if he separates from Liv Morgan, will he still get the same treatment? I don't think so. But I'm looking at it like, well, obviously Rhea doesn't do a lot of interviews. That's just clear as day. So maybe that's the reason. But I don't know if that's what Dom wants. But if he does do any more interviews, you would just hope he'll still get the same opportunities while Liv Morgan is gone. But I'm going to be real with you. I don't think that's going to be possible. Just because Liv Morgan is a celebrity, an upcoming celebrity. And I do believe at some point, Liv Morgan is going to do more and more interviews without Dominic Mysterio, while Dom has to figure it out. But I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think Dom wants the clout. I really think he just did it because it felt forced. And will he continue to get that? I don't know. But like I said, some people say, "Oh, I miss them together." That's the boss talking. Because if y'all really miss them together, you would address it. So anybody that's a living Dom fan, y'all are probably gonna switch up and be like, we want him back with Rhea. Or some people are gonna be like, "Oh, we like you and Roxanne together." Because if you think about it, Dom's fan base is pretty much Latinos. So and some Latinos, right? It's mostly Mexicans, right? So if he get back with Rhea, it's no big, people will support him. If he make up with his spotter, people will support him. But if he get back with Liv Morgan, nobody will support him. But these bots online. But everybody online is pretty much said up front that no, he's not going to get back with Liv. Okay, so we ain't got nothing to talk about, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I remember one time I looked at the comments and I asked people, why should Dom get back with Liv Morgan? And their biggest response is, because she's the GOAT. That's not a good enough excuse for me. She was the GOAT then and she's the GOAT now. With or without him. Matter of fact, without him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know what's going to happen I don't know what's going to go down with Rhea when Liv Morgan comes back, but I know if Liv Morgan comes back, the people will cheer for her, regardless of what happens. But I just hope that people don't feel bad for her, because it's like, he ain't really doing anything to make Liv Morgan cry. You just didn't see the walls. You just didn't see the writing on the wall. So I really hope that Liv Morgan understands that, Dominic Mysterio need to go to the other side in order for him to prosper. And if Liv Morgan would, would just have a brain and understand that, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. So I hope that Liv Morgan understands that, I hope Liv Morgan understands that it's nothing personal, it's just business. And at the end of the day, business is business. I mean, I did a theory that Triple H might hook him up with Stephanie Valkyria, which I don't think that's a good idea, because I think Stephanie Valkyria is a freak. And if you saw that video with her and Sheamus, you will see why. I'm not saying she's gonna get him to twerk or anything, but I'm just saying I think Stephanie will take it too far. Like, I mean, too far. Hotel scenes. Like, I think what Stephanie will do to Dom will be completely out of rhythm, out of the element, and that's not what we want. A lot of these corporates really think that's what Dom wants, but that's not what he wants. And honestly, I'm not looking forward to it. I just hope that I'm wrong about that. I'm hoping that we don't see Dom back with another woman. We're hoping that if the Roxanne thing don't work out, he'll get back with Rhea. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I hope. That's what I hope. But we have to think. You know what I'm saying? We have to think that if what's the best route for Dominic Mysterio to go to? Because you gotta I think that's why I need y'all to comment down below. What can help Dom become babyface? Because him getting back with Liv Morgan is not going to help him become babyface. I'm sorry. But something has to, because these bloggers think that if he stayed loyal to Liv Morgan, that's considered babyface. No, it's not. That's not, because he's still gonna get booed. So what can prevent that? So here's the options for him to become babyface. You either have to apologize to your father, apologize to Rhea, and that's that, because everything else is questionable. But if you think him getting back with Liv Morgan is gonna help him become babyface, no, I'm sorry, that's not what the people want. That's not what the people want, because if you look at the comment box, everybody's saying he gonna dog her out, and that's what I'm pretty much thinking he's gonna do, because that's what people are predicting, and that's what's gonna go down. Because even if he get back with Liv Morgan, there's gonna be some type of crash in the party, because Liv Morgan talking about she wants to get married at Madison Square Garden. Either if you do that, you're still gonna get somebody to crash the party. You know, you might get Liv Morgan to cheat on Dominic Mysterio. You might get Dom to cheat on Liv Morgan, and if that happens, there's a possibility that this whole getting back with Liv Morgan thing was just all part of the game. Because we know that every single wedding in WWE, if you go back in time, there's always somebody to crash the party. Always. So at this point, you might as well just keep them apart. You get what I'm saying? And just have Dom back with Rhea if you want him to have a babyface turn. It's just, that's my only solution. Because like I said, I can't see him with anybody else except Roxanne and Rhea. Everybody else is like, sorry, but we can't predict that. So that's all I gotta say on that. That's all I gotta say on that. Anyway, I'm at the beach now, so y'all comment down below, let me know. What do you guys think? 1 second. Hi.
Like a daily or annual pass?
Just a $10.
Okay. Can I get your zip code, please?
Oh, right here.
Alright. It's gonna be $10 when you're ready.
Alright. Here you go.
Thank you. You're all set. Have a great day.
Here you too.
Thank you.
Dang, usually when I come here, they don't ask me for my zip code. Alright, Lord have mercy. I hate getting up early. Alright, man. Yeah, so like I said, y'all comment down below and let me know, what do you guys think, man? I need y'all to comment, because I don't know. What can help Dom become babyface? Like I said, what can help him become babyface? We know if he go on his own, that can help him. But I just feel like if he wants to earn the crowd's respect again, he has to define the word respect. And I think he will have to show respect to the people that got him up top in the first place, right? Show respect to his spotter, show respect to his ex-girlfriend, just going by character, kayfabe storyline, that he would have to, that would have to be the case, right? If he make up with Rhea Ripley and he make up with his spotter, that will be the case. It's gonna be hard though. Like I said, it's gonna be hard because his pride might not let him. But if that's what he wants, if he wants to get back, if he wants to side with the crowd, then that's the only way to do it. People don't even want, some people want Rhea and Liv to get back together, but I'm like, okay, so no solutions to their problems. You know what I'm saying? Just put them back together and that's it, and that's supposed to be it. Like, that's not how the story's supposed to go. The story is supposed to be, all right, if you want to do that, make up the beef somehow. You know what I'm saying? Put them in a Hell in a Cell match so that way they can restart their beef. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we gotta have some type of accountability, and people have to persevere. And I think the problem with this story is that it doesn't feel like there's any type of perseverance, you know. And I just think it will be irresponsible to empower that dysfunction. It's the same dysfunction when Rhea did her dirt. It's the same dysfunction when Dom did his dirt last year. It's the same way when Liv Morgan did her dirt. In the same way when all three of them were out here wilding. And now we're continuing to mess up with their dysfunction. I think that's whack. And like I said, it would just be stupid on their end, as you know, for the writers and the storylines and the creatives to actually go backwards when the simple thing to do is to go forward. You know what I'm saying? But because of Liv Morgan's injury, they really don't know what to do in this situation, but just repeat the same cycle. All right, Dom is gonna be loyal for a minute, but after that, he's gonna cheat. But the question that I have is, the question I have is, if you're going to get Dom to fall in love with Roxanne, this is the question I have. This is the question that I have. What does, like, because I don't want Liv Morgan to come back and be like, oh, well, if Dom get with you, he's going to cheat just like he's doing with me and Rhea. And it's just like, okay, listen, Liv, you don't need to say all that because we already know what Dom is going to do next. Okay? We really don't want to hear what you have to say about the predictions between Dom's mindset. We really don't care, and we really don't want to hear it from you. We already know. I mean, you hit a prediction with Zyra and Soruka. We know the story. Nobody don't care. If you're not going to move on from this man, then nobody gives a fuck. So again, it's just a waste, bro. At the end of the day, this shit is a waste. And I just wonder when we're gonna get a deadline, bro. All this stuff that y'all seeing from Dom and Rhea and Liv, when are we gonna get a deadline? Because nobody gives a shit at the end of the day. Nobody cares about this stuff. You know? Only thing that we care about is perseverance. When are we going to persevere from this story? These long-term stories are getting tiring, and it's exhausting. People want the Judgment Day to end. People don't care about the Liv and Dom story. So what do we need to do in order for us to persevere? Because getting Dom back because I'm just saying, I don't want to keep talking about this because I'm getting tired of it. You can tell by me yawning that I'm getting tired of it. Ugh. So, I just think if Roxanne wants to get with Dom, she's gonna have to be herself. You know? I have an idea for her. Take him to In-N-Out Burger. Take him to In-N-Out Burger. Stop giving him chicken nuggets and take him to In-N-Out Burger. It's plain and simple. Take him to In-N-Out Burger. You know, do something different. Instead of just giving him chicken nuggets. Like, woman, you're making me want to go get chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the best thing I can say on that. So, I'm just going to, like I said, y'all need to comment down below and let me know what you think that, what can prevent people from booing Dom? Him getting back with Rhea, him getting back with his spotter, or him getting with Roxanne and then they do some different things, and like I said, him trying to get Roxanne to turn on Fam. Y'all comment down below, let me know, alright? I'm almost to the beach, but I'm too tired to talk. So we'll see what happens tonight, and I'll catch y'all later tonight for another segment, alright? Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll catch y'all in the next video, alright?